question for you. Do you use email to interact with your users? You send any emails? Put your hands up if you do. Yeah, good. Keep them up if you also have like a company blog. Yeah, what about a Twitter? Yeah, so do I. Right, put your hands down. Plus, we've also got newsletters. We've got live chat. We've got videos. We've got plenty of onboarding, like tool tours. And half a dozen other interactions with our users. And when those interactions, I work at a SaaS company called Optimal Workshop, and we make user research tools. So when those interactions, or the emails, the live chat, when there's no cohesion between the tone and the messaging, it's really confusing. And that's something that we dealt with a little bit last year. And we weren't sure about the personality that we were trying to get through. And when you're not sure about your company's personality, it's hard to make, it's really confusing. It's confusing to your users, and it's also confusing to you, because it's hard to make design decisions or copywriting decisions when you're not sure how you're supposed to sound or what's the right way of doing things, what the message really is. So keeping in mind that the two words I'm sort of hedging around here are marketing and branding, because they're sort of dirty words, or they're sort of kept out of the UX sort of forums usually. For me, they really go together. And I think that you can build really powerful user experiences when you put branding and UX together. Like Phil said in the Serato talk, when the branding and the product came together, it came alive. And I think we all saw that in that video. It was really sexy. It was a really cool video. So keeping in mind that our customers are UX practitioners just like you, we decided to conduct a research study. And we wanted to find out how our customers perceived our brand personality. There's a guy called Bill Beard who is a bit of an expert when it comes to branding and UX coming together. And he says this thing I like. He says, ask yourself, what is your company's your brand's personality? Now take those characteristics and bake them through the product. Bake them through the experience. Bake them through like a cake. Well, here's the thing about baking. You want your expectations to match your reality. Yeah. We had a few expectations for what our sort of personality was. We weren't sure it was going to match the reality. So, we embarked on this study. The activity itself was adapted from a product called Brand Deck, which is an in-person test that an agency came up with to do with their clients to test how their clients wanted their brand personality to be. And you can see on the cards we've got a bunch of adjectives. We pulled those adjectives, a list of 50, and made a list of them, and we inputted them into our own remote card sorting tool, Optimal Sort. It was a closed card sort, and we showed the cards at random, and those were our categories. So the adjectives would say something like cool, funky, the categories. We also wanted some qualitative data to go with this card sort, and we wanted people to say in their own words how they felt about our company and what their relationship with our products are. So the first question we asked was, how important are the Optimal Workshop apps to your professional toolbox? Why did you choose Optimal Workshop? Were there any alternatives considered? And if Optimal Workshop were a person, could you tell me what sort of personality they would have? And then we sent out in this email, and we were kind of hoping that people would come back, but we weren't sure how well it would be received. And we sent it to 500 paid customers. A bunch of people just didn't open the email, completely normal. 113 people got sort of halfway through and then abandoned because they got bored or just life happened. And 252 people ended up completing the study, which we were really very, very happy with. So the email went out and we waited for our results. When the results came in, we got a bunch of participant data. We got where they came from and how long it took them to do the study, which you can see a little bit there. We got some data on the cards, so which category each card was placed into the most often, how many times a card was sorted into each given category, and the results matrix, which you can see on the right there. That shows the highest and lowest agreement between card placement. So some of those darker blues there, you can see where there's agreement. There was also the popular placements rate matrix, which attempts to propose the most popular groups based on placement score. You can see the darker blue there. Welcoming does really well, 61%. Approachable as well. So we got all this data, and we found 5 characteristics for our brand. And they are intuitive, approachable, scientific, current, and clever. Very exciting. We also got some interesting data when it came to what we weren't perceived as, or people weren't sure. In particular, in the not sure category, secure was the most agreed upon card. So if our paid customers are not sure whether we're secure, that's a communication error, because we spend a lot of time being very secure and making sure that our tools are good. Oh, sorry. Then with those qualitative questions that we asked, we found that half the customers rate our tools as very important, and some of the reasons why they decided to use us. And then we came to my favourite question of all, which was, if Optimal Workshop were a person, what sort of personality would they have? And people got really creative. They said things like, oh, Optimal Workshop is a librarian and they're doing these psychology experiments, and it's this hipster and he's drinking lots of coffee. It was really, really cool. And there was this one answer that really blew me away, and I'm going to read it for you. So Optimal Workshop is a guy with a hipster beard. He's wearing Warby Parker glasses. He'd have an iPhone 6 in one pocket and a pocket watch in the other. He wears flannel. He's always talking about the future. He'd be eclectic and wildly intelligent. Everybody would want to work with him, but he would be incredibly selective about the people he would work with. So that was pretty cool. Now we took that qualitative data and we sent it through to our designers, and they tried to come up with a character, and we call him Professor Grey. And he is approachable and clever and current, intuitive and scientific. So what we've done with that data is just allowed it to help us make decisions and guide the message. So when we sit down to write an email, we know how we want to come across. We know how we want to make people feel. And it's been hugely helpful to us. And it's also allowed us to make more delightful experiences for our users as well. An example of that is these cardigans that we got designed. So they are sort of like kind of hip, right? Kind of cool cardigans. And then on the back here, we've got these scientific elbow patches. And actually, I know some of you have found this already, but if you reach under your chairs,